Let's say you want to make a quick buck and sell some of your stuff on Facebook Marketplace, like jeans that no longer fit, baby toys you no longer need, or even a mug that belonged to an ex. Well, before you get hooked on an offer, stay alert, because you don't want to get fished into a fraud.
It goes like this. You publish your item, you get a message asking, "Is this available?" And you say, "Yes, it is." Then they say, "I'm out of town right now. I can pick it up next week. I'll pay for it now. Can I get your email to send you an e-transfer?" Then you receive an Interact link.
And while you may think that they're giving you money, they may actually be taking yours.
And that's sadly what happened to Canada resident Hella Bertrand when she was selling a coat last fall. Full disclosure, she was my elementary school teacher and one of my favorites.
The next morning when I woke up and got messages from my bank saying that $700 had been withdrawn and an attempt to withdraw $2,200 had been rejected because there was insufficient funds in that particular account.
That's when she pulled up her messages with the buyer.
All of that person's contributions were no longer there, only my responses to what he or she had said.
That person had gone even a step further in her bank account.
They had changed her husband's email address in her e-transfer contacts list.
And that's the most frightening thing. So of course that was deleted immediately. And I changed passwords and everything.
We'll get back to Hella Bertrand's story, but first I want to know, how common is this situation?
Marketplace is the hot fraud right now.
Detective Sean Wabe has been investigating frauds with the Ottawa Police for 15 years.
We get several marketplace scams a day, both from someone looking to buy something and from someone looking to sell something.
Last year, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre processed over 3,000 reports for merchandise fraud. And from those, over $9 million was lost. What's more, it's estimated that only 5 to 10% of fraud victims report to the CAFC. That's not surprising to Darian Ducharme. He hosts workshops across Canada teaching about technology and scam prevention.
What I find is there's a lot of shame with if you're a victim of a scam. So not everyone's willing to report that they've been scammed. But these scams on Facebook, especially some of the Interact e-transfer links that they send, look so close to real life that can fool almost anyone.
Tell me what's happening when you're trying to sell something, you've got an interested buyer, you think that they're going to send you an e-transfer. Tell me what's actually happening.
A lot of people who don't have auto deposit turned on assume that that is just the e-transfer link coming in. So they simply click on that, put in their username and password, thinking it's their bank account. And now that person in the back end has access to your username, your password. So they can go in the back end and then they can clear your account essentially.
And when it comes to tracing the money, well, that's tricky for the police.
There's so much in favor of the bad guys right now, technology, that it's hard for police to be on top of this. With the day of the internet, frauds are very hard to fight. The suspects don't even live in our country. They're doing it from overseas.
So what can you do to protect yourself when selling something on Facebook Marketplace? Here are some tips we gathered.
Check the person's profile. If it's a recently created account, it's probably a fake. Don't accept money up front. An overeager buyer is a red flag. Meet in person and in a public location. A police station or a bank are good options, but that's more for your physical safety. Accept cash or turn on e-transfer auto deposit. That way you're getting the money immediately. Turn on two-factor authentication. You'll get a code sent to your phone or email to validate you're signing into your bank or social media account. Back to Hella Bertrand's story. Well, she was lucky to get her money back from the bank, but she's been hesitant ever since to sell something on Facebook Marketplace.
Well, once bitten, twice shy. But it was a good lesson.
A lesson she continues to pass on to others, like all great teachers do, even in retirement. Sana Choi, CBC News, Ottawa.